Did you log into your Amazon KDP account and get this message on your bookshelf? Don't panic. We're going to go over this in the video, and I don't know everything about it, and I just saw this literally like 15 minutes ago, but I was able to read through some of it, and I have a basic understanding, I believe, on what it is. So let's get started. This says printing costs will change on June 20th, 2023. Now, I feel like we all knew this was coming because with inflation and the rise of cost for everything, Amazon is not in the business of losing money. So it kind of makes sense they're going to update it. So this says you currently have books that will earn 0 royalties after printing costs change. While not required, you may choose to update your list prices to avoid a change in royalties. You can update your list prices at any time individually on the pricing tab, or until June 19th, 2023, you can run a one-time bulk list price update on your live paperback and hardcover list prices to continue earning the same royalties after printing costs change. Now, I'm unsure if this also counts for ebooks, and I only say that because I do have an ebook on my account, but I probably would still be making a royalty, so I'm unsure if this is going to show me the books that solely are not going to be making a royalty after this change, or if this will increase all of them to meet that change. So I'm unclear on that. Also says, if you plan to make list price changes individually, download the CSV file, which I tried to download, but for some reason it won't work for me, to prioritize any books that will earn 0 royalties first. Learn about printing cost changes. So it would be really cool if that file would work, and maybe it will, but it just did not work for me today. It just kept loading and then spinning. Like, I'll click on it and it does the spinny thing and then nothing. So I also tried opening it in like a new tab, which I knew that wouldn't work, but it didn't. And then you can click on this, learn about printing cost changes. So that's what I did, and it brought me to this whole page about the new printing cost changes, the FAQs. So I highly, highly recommend looking through this entire page. Now, I haven't read it completely top to bottom, but I've gotten a decent idea on what is going on. So what I did was I went down to the new printing costs, and then I opened up the old printing costs for paperback. So this is different for hardcover and for ebook, of course, because ebook you don't even have to print. But let's just look at the paperback ones. So for the fixed cost for a black ink with 24 to 108 pages on Amazon.com, that used to be $2.15, or well, it still is because these changes aren't in effect yet. The new fixed cost is $2.30, so it went up by 15 cents. So it doesn't seem like it should be a huge deal in that way. Looking at the 110 to 828 pages, 85 cents, and then $1. So it looks like everything seems to have gone up roughly 15 cents. At least that's what I've noticed. So now looking at the color ink down here, we'll do premium color ink, 24 to 40 pages. $3.60 is the new cost, and it says the old one is $3.65, but I don't think I have that correct because that just wouldn't make sense. So this is a new page. Let's see, we have premium color ink with 24 to 40 pages, premium color ink, 24 to 40 pages, marketplace. So it looks like that is actually accurate, but if you look at 42 to 828, it says $1, and down here it says 85 cents. So that may be where they're making up the cost difference there. So I do recommend going through this and trying to figure out where your books kind of fall and what the difference is going to be. Now, I'm not entirely sure why some of mine will be 0 royalties. It may be because I think I have a few books where I dropped them really, really low in hopes to see if it would help market them. I think they're mostly activity books, like ones in high competition niches, and I was just testing out different pricing and things like that. So that may be why. Or when I first started, I really didn't understand pricing. I was trying to go cheaper and I wasn't giving myself much of a royalty. So that may also be the case. But regardless, I do want to make sure I'm still making a good amount of royalties. So after reviewing all of this information, I would not panic, okay? I would take a minute, relax, go through this whole page, see if they answer all your questions. And then I probably honestly am going to be doing this one-time bulk list price update. So if I click on it, it says bulk list price change. Printing costs will change on June 20th, 2023. You can run a one-time bulk list price update on your live paperback and hardcover list prices to continue earning the same royalties after printing costs change. Now, I believe this is going to actually include all of your books, because the ones that I'm still, like, let's say I'm making $2.30 right now. After this change, if it is the 15 cents difference, I'll be making $2.15. So I think this would update it to where it would then be 245 minus the 15 change to get me that 230 that I would still be getting, if that makes sense. I'm not sure. I kind of did a roundabout way for that. But basically, I believe this is going to up all the prices a little bit so that way you're making the same amount. Now, I have a few concerns about this because I like to set my prices at 0.99. So is this going to up them and make them a weird price, like 7.14 or something like that? So I do have a few concerns about this. But I just have a few hundred books. I have like 255 books, I think, right now, and going through all of them individually and adjusting the pricing sounds really, really awful and really time consuming. So I can see pros and cons to both of this. I'm going to click learn more about the bulk list price change, and let's read over it really quick because I didn't see this beforehand. Oh, it looks like it brings me to the same page. So let's say optional bulk update. When will the bulk update happen? So one-time update for all your live print book list prices. Keep your royalties the same after printing costs change. So yes, this will change all of them. You have until June 19th to start this update. However, the sooner you run the bulk update, the more likely your live list prices will be updated ahead of the printing cost changes. So this could change your prices before the cost even goes into effect. So you'd actually be making more royalties for a short time being. Once you confirm you'd like to run the one-time bulk update, changes can take several weeks. They'll email you when all your live list prices are updated. If you start it on or close to June 19th, you may earn a zero royalty because it will fall below the minimum list price. So if you are going to do this bulk update, this is recommending you do it sooner, and I definitely would recommend it as well. If you want to go through individually, it usually takes a few days to update, and since they're going through this big change, it may take even longer, so I would probably do it no more than less than 2 or so weeks before the actual pricing update would change. How does the bulk update work across marketplaces? It'll increase so that you earn the same royalties after printing cost changes. If you manually set your prices in your non-primary marketplaces, those list prices will increase during the same royalties. Okay, so it's just going to change them all. What happens if I change my list prices after starting the bulk update? We recommend that you do not adjust your paperback and hardcover book list prices till the bulk update is complete. The bulk update uses the live list price at the time of processing, so waiting ensures the bulk update does not override any manual changes you make. So this doesn't really address my concern on having that 7.99 or 8.99 book. This is just going to make sure I make the same royalties. So if I'm making, like I said before, a $2.30 royalty on a book that's $7.99, for example, in order to print that book, it's going to cost Amazon 15 cents more. And I may be reading the chart wrong, but just for the sake of this scenario, we'll go with that. That means I need to be earning 15 cents more to make the same royalties. That would put my book at 8.14. So I'm kind of on the fence about all of this because I feel like as a person that does buy things off of Amazon, I do get a little weary of books that aren't the 0.99 or 0.49. If they're a random number, it just seems a little weird to me and a little off. So this does make me a little bit nervous on how it's going to affect my sales, but also the thought of going through every single one of my books is just really daunting. So I think I'm going to go with this bulk update, and I probably should spend more time thinking about this, but honestly, I really don't see myself going through all of my books individually and upping the price by $1. So I think I'll go through with the bulk update, and then what I'll do is once it's complete, I'll go through to my books that normally sell, because not all my books sell most of the time. So I'll go through, like, at minimum my top 25 or so bestsellers that I can think of, and I'll go through and I'll manually change the price to something that I actually want it at. But I think a concern with going through manually is one, the amount of time it's going to take, and not actually knowing, or the second one would be not actually knowing what my royalties would be, because the new pricing update won't be in the calculator. So I'm not really going to know what my actual new royalties are going to be. And I could have done the math wrong and it couldn't be as much as I think it is. So I think there's more risk doing it that way. My third concern is that whenever you update your price, your book goes through the review process again, and sometimes Amazon will catch it or flag it when it didn't the first time, or when they didn't the first time. And I think this bulk update will most likely just change all the royalties to be the same. I don't think they'll be going through the whole review process like it would if I did it manually. That could be incorrect. Don't quote me. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here and giving my perspective on this. So, I have a few concerns with the bulk update, but none that are really major. I think if my pricing are messed up for a week or two, it's not going to be a huge drastic thing in my business, because it'll take me a few hours at least, but I can go through and manually edit all the pricing again. And since KDP currently isn't my full-time job, there isn't much worry if I don't get as much income. Like, yes, I am relying on this income quite a bit right now, but it'll be okay for a week or two if my royalties are a bit lower. I think everybody's situation is going to be different. If you only have 50 books, and I say only loosely because that's still a good amount of books, on your dashboard, you could probably go through 50 relatively easily and within a day. But if you have 100 or more, I have 255, you have 4,000, like I've seen people with thousands, that is not going to be easy to go through every single one of those. So this bulk update, I think, is going to be very, very helpful in that respect. So let's see, right here it says, how do I know which books will fall below the new minimum list price? If any of your books will fall below the minimum list price, you'll see a message on your bookshelf along with a link to download your list of affected books. The list is available if you have books below the new minimum list prices. So I really want this link to work because I would love to know what books actually fall below it. Because if it's the books that don't really sell, then I probably won't even bother with the one-time bulk list price update, because if they aren't even really selling, I may just unpublish them altogether. So now that I've kind of walked through my whole thought process with this and read all these different help pages that they have, I think I'm going to wait and see if I can get this file to load and go from there. But I hope this was helpful in a way where you've kind of seen my approach, or listened to my approach on how I would go about this. And everybody's journey is going to be different, and what you do with this information is going to be different. But I recommend, if you have quite a few books that need to be changed, like at least 100 or more, then the one-time bulk list price update may be better for you. However, keep in mind those things that I'm a little bit worried about. And if you have only like 5 or 10 books or something like that that need to be updated, then I probably would just do them manually. So I think I'm going to wait and see when this CSV file works, because it's not working for me right now. But if my bestsellers aren't on this list, then I'm not really sure I want KDP to update all of my books, because it's going to change my pricing completely. If I lose 15 cents, that is going to make a pretty big impact. So I may already do the bulk update, but I'm kind of going back and forth here. So I think I'm going to wait until I can see what books are actually affected and get a better idea on the change that this is going to have on my account. But I honestly can see myself going either way right now, and I can definitely do a video update once I actually decide for sure what I'm doing. But I just saw this today and I wanted to hop on here in case some of you were worried about it or unsure what it really meant. I hope this explanation kind of helped. And again, I'm still learning about this, so please do your own research and come to your own decision, as this is your own business. So do what is best for you. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope that you have a great day.